Welcome to the DialogTech webcast introducing the new DialogTech for mobile marketing solution. My name is Blair Symes and I'm the Director of Content Marketing here at DialogTech. And today I'll be discussing the impact mobile is having on marketing and walking you through how DialogTech for mobile marketing is helping marketers measure and optimize customer acquisition from mobile click-to-call. Let's begin with what has become an undeniable fact in marketing today, and that is that the world has gone mobile. 64% of Americans today own smartphones, and it's projected to have around 276 million smartphones in the US by 2017. Everyone has a smartphone today, but it's not just the number of smartphones that's impacting marketing, it's how they're being used. For example, people spend more time on their mobile devices today than they do watching television. When it comes to consuming digital media, people spend more time looking at their emails, looking at social media, watching videos on mobile devices than they do on desktops, 60 to 40. And that number is only increasing. And if you drill down into the stats that impact marketing channels specifically, they all point to mobile. Google recently announced for search that over half of searches are now on mobile devices. 2 years ago, that number was 25%. And now we've already seen mobile surpass desktop on search, and that number is only going up. Social media has always been a very mobile-centric platform, and that's only increasing. 71% of people access social media on their mobile devices. And there's also a growing number of people who only access social media on mobile. So if you're targeting desktops, you won't be reaching a growing population of social media users. Display advertising, the stat I just referenced earlier about digital media time comes into play. 60% of digital media is now consumed on mobile, so you need to be aware that when you're targeting folks with display advertising, that mobile is where you want to be. Email advertising and email marketing, 65% of the US opens their emails on a mobile device. And video is extremely popular and growing form of advertising. Over half of YouTube views are now on mobile, and that number continues to grow. So when you're talking about the different marketing channels you're used to focusing in on the desktop, those channels are all moving mobilely. And the spend, the way marketers are allocating their budget for digital marketing reflects that trend. So today, US mobile ad spending is around 49% of all digital ad spend. And, but that number is increasing. So it's supposed to increase about 50% this year to $29 billion. But by 2019, that number is supposed to be 72%. So 72% of all digital ad spending will be mobile in 2019 versus desktop. It's a staggering amount, and it really shows how marketers have understood and grasped the idea that people live their lives now on their mobile devices and smartphones. And if you want to reach consumers, you have to go where the consumers are, and that means mobile. Now, really the most important part of this webcast for you to understand is that when you target mobile, when you're allocating spend towards mobile advertising, regardless of the channel, the end result is often an inbound call conversion. So here's some new statistics from analyst firm BIA Kelsey that show mobile channels are going to drive 76 billion calls, or have driven 76 billion calls to US businesses last year. And that number is going to increase to 162 billion by 2019. That's an increase of around 114%. So the numbers are more, the number of calls is more than doubling in the next 5 years. It's a staggering amount. And that's from search, display, and social media. So when you're talking about your ad spend for those mobile channels, you really have to be aware that the end result, the conversion from that ad spend is often a phone-native social ad. And really this rise in calls is tremendous news for marketers. And that's because a call, an inbound call, is almost always a more valuable lead to the sales team than is a web download or a phone fill. Here are some statistics from a study that show that 66% of sales managers rate phone calls as good or excellent. That's better than any other lead type. And there's also a study that shows that calls, inbound calls, will convert to revenue 10 to 15 times more than web clicks. And it makes sense. Someone who calls you is just more engaged and more usually further along the sales cycle and ready to speak to a sales manager. So they're really more sales ready. They're the kind of leads that marketers should be sending to sales. Now, because the call volumes are rising so dramatically, and because calls are so valuable, you really have to include call analytics in your mobile ROI analysis. So look at this example. Here's an example of paid search without call attribution, without being able to understand how marketing is driving calls. So at the top you see someone, a man or a woman, running a search on their smartphone, clicking on a paid ad, visiting a landing page, and triggering a call to that business. Now, as a marketer, if you're in charge of paid search campaigns, all you know is that a click happened. You don't know that a conversion happened. You don't understand. You know you've spent money on this click, but now that conversion is not part of your overall paid search analytics and ROI. So you aren't able to understand that this is actually a valuable click, that this search, these keywords, and this ad drove a click that became a call. You have no visibility into what happened on that call or where it went, so you don't know if it was a valuable call or not. And you're not able to include any of those analytics in the other platforms, marketing software you use to measure and optimize paid search. So for example, Google AdWords or any of the bid management platforms or Google Analytics or even a CRM system like Salesforce. You're not passing that call data into those platforms. So basically a call happened, possibly a sale happened, and as a marketer, you have no visibility into that and you're not able to get credit for it. So when we're talking about not being able to attribute calls back to your mobile campaigns and your mobile spend, it really can bring about 4 very potentially costly problems. So without an accurate picture of how many calls each marketing channel generates, the quality and outcome of those calls, and the impact on revenue, your ROI data may be grossly inaccurate. And with bad ROI data, you really risk optimizing budget on campaigns that aren't really driving revenue. And you may even pull the plug on some programs that are. So programs that are working, because you don't understand that the conversions are happening offline through a call, you may end up thinking that the campaign's not working and pull the plug prematurely. And at the end of the day, you can't prove the effectiveness of your programs to either your CEO if you're doing marketing for yourself, or to your clients if you're an agency. And you risk significantly underselling the value and impact of your campaigns, which as a marketer I know that we never want to do. So with that, I wanted to introduce DialogTech for mobile marketing. That is our new solution that is an end-to-end call analytics and automation platform really built for a mobile-first world. And it is made up of 4 key components, which I will go into in a bit more detail. And those are call attribution, in-call personalization, the ability to control where calls go during the call, real-time control and personalization of phone calls. Conversation insights, which allows you to analyze exactly what happened on calls. And then the third-party integrations where you're passing your valuable call data into the various platforms you use as a marketer to track and optimize your spend. So let's look again at that scenario I presented earlier, but this time have this marketer be using DialogTech for mobile marketing. So now the same scenario happened, but this time you know exactly who that caller is, and you know where they are calling from. You know the search engine, the exact keyword search, the ad, and the landing page that played a role in driving this call. You know where the call went. You know what happened on the call, whether it was a good call or a bad call, whether it resulted in a sale or not. And you're able to attribute all that data, pass that data into the third-party applications you use to optimize and track your marketing. So what that gives you at the end of the day is truly closed-loop attribution for every single mobile conversion. So you're able to tie every conversion, both web leads and now calls, back to the right marketing source to measure ROI. You can then prove to your CEO or your clients the full value of your marketing. You understand what's really driving revenue, So you can optimize on the right things to drive more. You can allocate spend to the right programs, the right keywords, the right ads, the right platforms that are really driving revenue for you. And you can eliminate what isn't. So you're better able to more intelligently spend and allocate your budget for what's really working and driving revenue. And DialogTech for mobile marketing works for any mobile source. So I list the big ones up here with Google and Bing, Yahoo, Facebook, Twitter and LinkedIn, YouTube, Google Display Network, and email. But it works for any mobile marketing source. Any marketing that you're doing, you can track callers back to that specific marketing and through the sales funnel to understand what's really driving conversions that drive revenue. And it works for calls either directly from ads or emails, or from people who click on those ads and emails and visit your web page, your web page or landing page before calling. So some ads, for example, paid search ads, have click-to-call buttons. So if someone clicks on that, you can track that call. If you have banner ads that are click-to-call, where the end result of clicking that triggers a call on your smartphone, you can track that. There are new Facebook ads, for example, that have call buttons, or Twitter ads that have call buttons. These are all emerging ad formats that allow you to not just generate a visit to your mobile site first, but generate a call directly from the ad. And DialogTech for mobile marketing will track those calls back to those ads. And if someone clicks on the an ad that sends someone to your website, DialogTech will still track that visit. And no matter where that person goes on the site, DialogTech will be able to track the entire visit, the entire experience. And when they call, you'll know exactly where they called from and what they did before and after that call. So you get complete insight with DialogTech for mobile marketing into every call and every caller. So I already covered the marketing source. So you're able to tell for every caller the exact marketing source that drove the call, even down to the keyword level for search. Again, you can track their website activity. So if your mobile ad campaign or email drove somebody to your site first and they browsed around before calling, you'll understand the exact path they took through your website before and after the call. It also automatically grabs information on the operating system and browser of the person interacting with your mobile marketing. And it tells you caller information. So you'll know what location the person's calling from, and you know the exact phone number of the caller. You'll know who took the call, so you know where the call went, if it went to a specific store or dealership or call center, which agent in that call center took the call. You're able to get all of this information and tie all this information together with the call. And you'll know what happened on the call. So you'll know the actual conversation. You'll know how long it took. All of this valuable information you'll be able to tie back and attribute back to the marketing source that generated it. So you really have complete closed-loop attribution around phone calls. So I wanted to take a quick second to talk about support for Google Call Extensions. This is we have new technology in DialogTech for mobile marketing that tracks keyword-level call attribution for Google Call Extensions. If you're not familiar with Google Call Extensions, that is like what you see here, the call button that now appears very frequently on smartphone paid search ads from Google. And when you click on those ads, it generates an immediate call to the business. Google has some great data around the popularity and power of call extensions. 70% of searchers use call extensions to call businesses. And 60% of phone calls from mobile paid search are happening from call extensions as opposed to a visit and then a call to the site. So call extensions are extremely popular. They generate hundreds of millions of calls each month to businesses. And DialogTech enables you to track exactly the keyword search that generated each call from a call extension. Here's a quick local format. This is a new ad format that Google rolled out really to stress the importance of and popularity of call extensions. So this is called a nearby business ad. So if someone searches for near me or nearby in their search, their local search, it can pull up this new format where it lists, a call extension, a direct extension for directions and a call extension, and you can make calls directly from the ad. And the reason why Google did this is because people are searching increasingly for near me or nearby in their searches. So there's been a 100% increase in near me searches in the last year, and 80% of those are happening on mobile. So Google's taking advantage of that. Now again, DialogTech for mobile marketing gives you the most accurate keyword call attribution for any call from any mobile ad format that includes call extension. So you can understand exactly which keywords every caller searched before clicking your call extension. And you can include that attribution in AdWords in order to really optimize for what's driving calls, both from your web page and directly from your paid search ads. And what's great about DialogTech is that we have these exclusive workflows that really make setting up call tracking for Google call extensions in AdWords a breeze. Now, if you did it without DialogTech, it's an extremely manual process that, especially for search marketers with tons of ad groups, or if you're working for an agency where you're managing multiple clients, it can be an extreme headache to set up call tracking. But DialogTech automates the entire process within our platform. So you have a single interface that sets up all the call tracking numbers and the routing and everything that you need to set up to get started with with tracking calls from Google call extensions. But we take the headache away from it. So if you're considering that, you should definitely give us a call or schedule a demo with us so you can see how much easier we make setting up call tracking in Google call extensions. Now, the DialogTech for mobile marketing solution also integrates with all the major platforms that you use to track and measure your mobile marketing. So Google AdWords, Universal Analytics, and Adobe, all the bid management tools, Salesforce, marketing automation tools, optimization tools like Optimizely, whatever you're using to track and optimize your mobile marketing, DialogTech can let you include your call analytics data in there to really get the full value of each of those platforms and really drive your marketing for what's really driving calls and sales. Now, I would definitely advise everyone, if you're doing mobile marketing, to include call data in your A/B tests. Most marketers do A/B tests to try to optimize what's working and what's not, and you want to be able to include call analytics within those A/B tests, so you're really picking a true winner, a true variation that's driving calls. Here's an example from an agency called Wider Funnel that basically ran a test to see which of these two variations drove more conversions, and all they did was really change the color of the buttons. So the select provider buttons are a different color, and the one on the right ended up generating 130% increase in phone calls and high value calls from consumers, ones that convert more to accounts and revenue. Just a simple change, but the point of all this is that you really want to be able to include call analytics in your mobile marketing to really your A/B test, to really understand what's working and optimize on the best possible variation. So DialogTech for mobile marketing also has exclusive capabilities around in-call optimization and personalization. So what that means is that when calls come in, DialogTech is not just tracking and attributing calls, but we're also enabling you to do certain things to calls during the call in order to help it convert to revenue. So I'll begin with a stat that shows, not every single phone call that comes in is going to be a sales-ready, high-quality sales lead. There's some statistics that show that only 90% of inbound calls are high-quality sales leads. The others may be people calling for customer service or directions to your business or basic account information, simple things that you don't necessarily want your sales agents to spend time addressing when they should be spending time on calls that are actually sales ready. So what DialogTech provides is what's a very sophisticated, easy to use IVR, which stands for interactive voice response. It's an automated phone menu that enables the caller to, that asks the caller questions in order to properly qualify them before passing them on to sales. So you can set up this IVR and customize it any way you want to ask the questions you think best qualify a caller, making sure they should be sent to sales before sending them on. And it could be as simple as press 1 to talk to sales, press 2 to talk to support, or it could be more involved where there are multiple questions about personal questions about the caller in order to really understand if they're a sales-ready call or not. But the IVR can qualify this for you automatically so that only the good leads, the sales qualified leads, are being passed directly to your sales agents. Now, DialogTech also has really amazing contextual call routing technology that's extremely important, especially in the mobile world today, where callers who could be on their phones could be calling from a wide variety of locations. It's not like a landline where you know where they're calling based on their area code. People on their smartphones can be calling from anywhere. And many marketing campaigns, you want to be sure to send callers to the right place based on their exact location. And that's one thing that DialogTech has that no one else has, is exclusive geolocation call routing technology that uses cell phone tower triangulation to really pinpoint exactly where the caller is and then can automatically route that caller based on where they are. So if you have a chain of retail stores, for example, you want to send the caller to the closest open store, you can automatically do that from your marketing campaigns. Or perhaps you want to route callers differently based on the keyword search they used before they called you from your paid search ad. Or if you have certain ads, maybe certain banner ad campaigns that are targeting specific discounts or products or services, you want to send those to a specific subgroup of agents, sales agents. All of this is possible. You can even route calls differently based on the time of day or the day of the week, or even on the sales agent skill set. So if some sales agents are better at closing sales than others, you can send more callers to the better performing agents so that they have a better chance of converting to revenue. No matter how you want to route calls, you can do that with the DialogTech for Mobile Marketing solution. And more intelligent call routing is a way that marketers can actually impact how many calls convert to revenue. And that's really what we want at the end of the day. We're not just looking at generating leads, we're looking at generating opportunities, appointments, and sales. And this is one thing you can do to actually have an impact on that beyond optimizing your campaigns for what's driving quality calls. Now, what's amazing too is that when calls from your marketing are being sent to your sales agent, as I said before, you're capturing all this great caller data and caller metadata from the marketing source, where the caller is calling from, who they are, and you can pass all this information at the time of the call directly to the sales agent. So a call comes in, you're qualifying them with an IVR, you're routing them to the right sales agent, the best person to take the call. Now, before that sales agent answers the call, you're presenting them all this great information. So they know the keyword search, for example, of what this person looked for. They know where the person's calling from. They know the person's phone number. They can perform a reverse lookup to find more information on the person's name. And if this person already exists in your CRM system, you can have direct links. The salesperson can just click on the link, and that'll automatically pull up this person's sales record and account history. So before they take the call, they've got all this amazing information at their fingertips, so they can properly frame the conversation in order to help close that deal faster and more effectively. Now, as a marketer, as I said, it's important that we not just track calls from our different mobile marketing channels, but actually track revenue and accounts. That's really the most powerful ROI. And one way to do that is by integrating your call data with your CRM system of record. Salesforce, an example that I provide here, we can integrate with any CRM system you have and pass that call data with full attribution and full analytics on the caller into your CRM, so you can include it in your records. So when you want to do real ROI reporting for each marketing source, you can include that call data in there so you understand what's really working and what's not. So that's part of the whole closed loop attribution story that we provide. But we also provide you with analytics for what happens on the actual call. So one way to do that is through call duration reports. So if you wish to generate a report on your Google paid search, your Google AdWords campaigns to see how long the average call length or how long each call you generated lasted, you can do that with DialogTech. And call duration is often a good indication of a quality lead. So if you wanted to see that, the calls you're generating from Google AdWords, for example, last 8 to 10 minutes on average versus calls from, say, a certain banner ad campaign that's only lasting, 30 to 40 seconds, I think it's safe to say that those longer calls are more valuable. So perhaps you wish to optimize, spend more money on the campaigns driving longer calls, and maybe look and see what's going on with the ones generating shorter calls to see, perhaps there's something you can do differently to generate quality callers. And with DialogTech, you can do that. We record every single conversation, and we keep these recordings forever. So you're able to always drill back into any call from any marketing source and listen into it, see what happened, learn from what happened on the call. It's really a deep level of analytics that you're not going to find anywhere else. Now, a new technology that we have that I wanted to share with you is called Conversation Insight. Now, think about it from a marketing standpoint. What words on a call indicate that it was a quality call or a sale? Now, that really depends on what type of marketing you're doing. It depends on the products and services you're selling. It depends on what ultimately the goal of your marketing is. Is it to drive an appointment or a demo or even to drive a sale? Whatever it is, it depends on the marketing campaign. But usually there are certain sets of words that could be spoken during a conversation, either from the agent or from the caller themselves, that can indicate whether or not this was a quality call or a conversion. And DialogTech gives you technology that can help you run keyword searches through your calls in order to basically drill into every conversation for keywords, key phrases that were spoken to indicate that it was a quality call. So DialogTech's Conversation Insight technology records, transcribes, and stores actual conversations, and then allows you to run custom searches through the call. So here's an example for someone running a search for the word appointment through a set of all the calls generated from a certain marketing campaign. Now you can see for each one, it highlights the conversation where that word was spoken. It shows you who said it. You can listen into the actual conversation if you want, or you can read a transcribed version of that conversation and really drill in and get great detail into what happened on the call. And this detail is extremely valuable not just to prove the quality of your leads, but also as marketers to understand what your consumers, what your target audiences are actually saying. You can see the words they're actually using, and those words can be invaluable for you in terms of maybe optimizing the keyword searches you're using in your paid search campaigns, for example, making sure you're using the right terminology, making sure that you understand exactly how consumers talk about their problems and talk about the solutions they want for those problems, and making sure your marketing speaks their language. And you can get that kind of in-depth data here from DialogTech's Conversation Insight technology. And you can also, it's a very sophisticated and robust platform where you can really filter calls based on their marketing source, based on where the person is located physically who called, based on the operating system the person used, however you want to search through calls, you can do that. You can do that filtering and really drill in and learn, see what happened on calls, and really learn what happened and how people are speaking in order to optimize your marketing. So that's it. I hope that was instructive and helpful for people trying to learn about the DialogTech for mobile marketing solution. Again, my name is Blair Symes. I'm the content marketing director here at DialogTech. And if you want to learn more or get a personal demo of the DialogTech for mobile marketing solution, please visit our website and request a demo. If you're watching this webinar, you may be already on our site. Just go to any request a demo button and fill out the form, or give us a call, and we will be happy to schedule a personal demo, talk about your needs in mobile marketing, and what we can do to help you really understand your ROI and drive customer acquisition from mobile marketing. Thanks, and have a great day.